Hi, my name is Carlo Tamarit, and I got a couple things that I would like to say. Hopefully they'll be helpful to you, hopefully not. Not something that will make you think twice in a bad way. That's what I mean. Anyway, before we continue, I'd like to affirm that I am not on any substances whatsoever. No alcohol, no drugs, legal or otherwise. And that's it. And there's a reason why I say that, which will become apparent a little later on. But the reason why I'm doing this is because for quite some time now, I've been feeling like this. And I've actually felt like this most of my life. And if you're watching this, and if you've been in my position, and you don't even know what position I'm in yet because I haven't told you. But if you're listening to this and you're watching this and you think that you have been in my position, I'm hoping that you bear with me and take into account what I'm saying. You know, use what's good, toss out the rest, whatever you want to do. But I want to let you know that you're not alone. Okay? So I'll try to keep this as concise and as coherent as I can. Sometimes my mind just goes and it's hard to get the right words, so if I stutter a little bit, it's just how it's always been for me. So I'm going to state some facts about me, and after that, if you're interested, you stay watching. If not, that's cool too. Maybe you might know someone who could benefit from this. I don't know. Again, my name is Carlo Tamarit. I am a suicide survivor. I wish I had the paperwork to show you that on May 20th of 2016, which is about, 3 years and almost 4 months ago, that I tried to take my own life. Now, I'm not going to tell you how I tried because I honestly don't want to encourage someone to try it. I'll be blatantly honest with you here. If it worked, I wouldn't be talking to you now. Okay? All I can tell you, or all I'm willing to tell you, is what happened afterward. And that's actually what's really more important than the act itself. And really what I'm trying to express to you is that everything that I'm going to say is an encouragement. I can't make the choices for you. I can't try to convince you one way or another what you can and can't do with your life. It's your life. It's your choice. Okay, but really this is for people who have survived suicide. You might have seen other videos that are, a little bit more flashier than mine, but the message is the same. Okay, and it's an important message. Okay, also, if you know someone who is on that edge, call the Suicide Hotline. I believe the number is 1-800-273-4255. If I'm wrong, look it up. It's easy. Just put Suicide Hotline in Google and boom, it's right there. You can call them. It's completely confidential. You can talk to them on the phone. You can talk to them online, whatever the case may be. And no, they're not paying me to do this at all. No one is endorsing me about this. This is something that I have chosen to do by myself to let you know what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling in regards to this. Okay? So, sorry I got a little sidetracked about that, but I didn't want to forget that, and not tell you. You need to know. Okay? I am a suicide survivor. I did try to take my own life, and it was May 20th of 2016 that I did it, and I'll probably carry it over to May 21st, which is a Saturday, Friday to Saturday. Again, I'm not going to tell you how I tried to do it. That's beside the point. It doesn't matter. What brought me to that point was a complex set of emotions of what I've always felt and events that sort of justified that feeling. What I mean is that I've always felt that I was worthless. Okay, I always felt that. I think the first time I felt it was when I was like 8 or 9 years old, and my dad had a .357 Magnum. Now, to a kid that size, that damn thing feels heavy. It may not feel heavy now because I'm older, but when you're young like that, you really don't put the pieces together until you start growing up and hopefully growing wiser. Well, I never grew wiser. I just grew up. Okay, And by the time that I tried to take my own life, it was that feeling that had been sort of reinforced in subtle and sometimes direct ways by everyone around me and even the choices that I made. Now, I'm not blaming the people in my life. I am going to make a distinction, though, that now that we're talking about them, okay? You are going to have friends, family, lovers, whoever, whatever in your life that are friends, family, lovers, whoever, whatever in your life. I'm putting them in quotation marks, okay? And I'm gonna express again who they are: friends, family, lovers, whoever, whatever, in quotation marks. That's one set of people in your life. And you know what? Coworkers too. Then you're going to have friends. Okay? You see the heart with my hand? Friends, family, lovers, whoever, whatever, coworkers in your life. There's a clear-cut distinction from my perspective between the people in this group and the people in this group. Now, if there's anyone that I know who's watching this, okay, if you want to know what group you fall under, you know how to reach me. Ask me, and I'll be blatantly honest, and I'll tell you which group you fall under, and I'll tell you why. Matter of fact, I'm going to tell everyone why right now, okay? But this is for the people who have been in my position, who have tried to take their life or are thinking about doing it. I encourage you not to, okay? This isn't a video that has some hidden subtle message that I'm saying one thing and meaning another. No. I'm not that smart. I'm not, okay? I encourage you not to take your own life, and I'm going to explain why. Hopefully my story, the events in my life will illustrate that for you, but at the end of the day, you have to make that choice. But when it comes to the people in your life, there's going to be people in this category and the people in this category. The people in this category, what separates them from the people in this category are a couple things that I've noticed. One, there's a lot more of them, okay? And two, they're judgmental as fucking hell. And no, I'm not going to apologize for cursing, okay? They're judgmental as fucking hell. They basically will hang out with you, have a smile in front of you, invite you to a couple parties or whatever the case may be, but then, that's pretty much the end of the line, okay? They're they're judgmental, and they can be people you've known for years and they're still judgmental as hell. All right, it's just that's who they are. Okay, everyone has their sets of standards and things of that nature. That's perfectly fine. But when it comes to you, they're going to have a judgment against you simply for being who you are. All right, I mean, again, it's a choice, it's a personal preference. You can choose to keep these people in your life or not. I'm just hoping that you would understand how to recognize them. Okay, and you know them better than I do, just like I know the people in my life better than you do. Okay, so there's that. However, the people in this category, there's not that much of them in your life. Okay, no matter what you've done, no matter what bad decision you made, no matter what the repercussions and the consequences of that decision were, okay, they still stick by you. If you act like an asshole, they're going to tell you that. And they're not going to sugarcoat it or sandwich it between something good, oh, you're an asshole, and then something good again. No. They're going to be honest with you. They're going to be real, 100% real with you. But at the same time, they still respect you. And at the same time, they still love you. And at the same time, they don't judge you for it. Because they know that you're a good person. Okay? And that, everyone, makes decisions that, you look back like, what the hell was I thinking? And I'm not talking about suicide. I'm just talking about everyday life stuff. Okay? Suicide is a very big decision to take, okay? And most people will say don't do it for whatever reason. I'm encouraging you not to do it, but for selfish reasons, okay? It's not a bad thing to be selfish for yourself, okay? It's not a bad thing to have to do things that benefit not just you, but everyone else. But if you get something out of it, it's not a bad thing at all, okay? I don't know where you are, at what point you are in your life where you think and feel that suicide is a way out, okay? It might be. I don't know. I'm not you, okay? If you have a really terminal illness and you're in a state that allows it, and you've explored other options, and you've really thought about this or prayed with this, I'm an atheist, by the way, so sorry. Whatever, and you've really thought critically about this, and you say, there's nothing else. I've done everything. I've reached the end of that line. Again, that's a decision you have to make. But there's other people out there who are making a decision just haphazardly like I did. You know, for me, again, it was that feeling of worthlessness. It was that feeling, it was everything that I was a failure at. I was a failure as a writer. I was a failure in my professional life. I was a failure with my family. I was a failure with my friends. I was a failure at being an author. Okay? I was a failure at the point that I decided that's it. I'm going to check out. I was a failure at everything. I was barely getting by. I was barely holding it together. Okay? Which gave the people the impression that I was an alcoholic or a drug addict or whatever the case may be. Okay, that wasn't the case. Did I drink too much? Oh yes, I did. Trust me, I don't deny that whatsoever. I even got to the point where it was in February of that same year that the two of my friends had to drag me out, and I was literally trying to fight them off me. I actually hit them, and I feel bad about that. Okay, I still do feel bad about that. And here's the thing about those two friends: one of them is in this category, the other one is in this category. But at the time, both of them didn't care about that, and I wasn't smart enough to recognize that, and that was beside the point anyway. I was so shithoused that I was fighting them off, and the reason why is because I was feeling so horrible over someone that I really wanted to be there, and she wasn't there, and I felt horrible. I just got shithoused, and I completely went off the deep end. Okay, they had to send me to the hospital to get my stomach pumped out. And that wasn't a suicide attempt. That was just me being completely stupid. Okay, and here's another thing real quick. There's the difference between stupid people and dumb people. Stupid people make bad decisions knowing completely what those decisions are and what the consequences of the decisions will be. Okay? They know better and they decide to make a stupid decision anyway. That was me. I was stupid. Okay? Then there's dumb people who were trained by stupid people and they just simply don't know any better. They think whatever the decision they make is the right decision, and it may be the right decision or it may not be the right decision, but they still don't know any better. And when the consequences bite them in the ass, they actually learn from it, and they're not dumb in that aspect of the decision anymore. They improve. Stupid people refuse to do that. I was stupid. I was stupid. Okay? Not for trying to commit suicide. I was stupid for taking things too far. Suicide, or at least my attempt for it, was a manifestation of everything that I was feeling at the time. I was worthless. I was a failure. Okay? I never thought critically about what I could do to change things. And the fact was at the point in my life at that time, I honestly wasn't capable of doing it. I was not. I was nowhere in a place where I could think clearly, because I was so in my mind and my feelings, I was just so burdened about staying above water and trying to succeed or whatever the case would be, and I was just literally failing. And when I finally failed that last time or whatever the hell it was, I said, you know what, that's it, I'm done. I'm checking out. I don't want to be here anymore. That was how I was feeling. Like I said, I felt that worthlessness feeling all my life. Okay? And it was, to a point, reinforced by people around me. Again, I'm not blaming those people, because you have to understand that people make choices that's going to benefit them as well. You're not the only one. Okay? And that's one of the things that bothered me, is that I wanted people to sort of revolve their decisions around me, even though that was not really possible. If I wanted that from them, but I would have to do that for them, and I wasn't willing to do that, it was kind of a one-sided thing. See, that's where I was wrong in that aspect. Okay? So I don't hold it against people for putting themselves in this category. Okay? Maybe they have different life experiences where they've dealt with someone like me, or someone who was worse, or whatever the case may be, but they've been hurt themselves, and they're like, I can't do it anymore. I have to be judgmental to protect myself. Okay? Now, that doesn't give the people in this category a pass as to how they treated me. I'm just telling you that I understand. Okay? That I don't hold it against them. It just means, for someone to go from here to here, that's a relationship I would have to work on with that person, and they would have to be willing to work on it with me. But that's beside the point. I apologize. Okay? But that's why I'm telling you this stuff, because actually it is important. Okay? For whatever reason that you're making this decision, or had made this decision, and failed at suicide, or you're thinking about doing suicide, and if it's about the people in your life, I encourage you to understand that their lives are just as complex as yours. They're dealing with things that they may not be willing to talk about with you or with anyone else. Just like maybe you weren't willing to talk to either them or anyone else what's going on with you. Okay, it's a protection mechanism. For people like us, we're so big about protecting ourselves that sometimes we cut off the people that we need in our lives, because we don't want to burden them, or we don't want to seem like we're weak, or we don't want to, whatever the case may be, we don't want them involved for whatever reason. Okay? Involve them. I would encourage you to involve them. Talk to them. And if the people can't handle it, they're probably in this category. Let them go. Okay? You're going to find the people in this category who are going to stick by you no matter what. Just keep in mind that they're going to call you an asshole when you act like an asshole. Don't take it personally. That's them doing their job. But likewise, if the situation is reversed, you have someone who's in this, for that person, you're in this category. You probably do the same thing. You tell them that person is acting like an asshole, and you straighten them up and you help them out any way you can. And you love them and respect them regardless. Okay? But if you're thinking about it, I encourage you not to think about it or not to do it. Okay? Honestly, I think about it all the time. Every single time. In the feeling that I'm talking about, okay, ever hear about or seen some kind of cartoon or whatever where a guy is literally in a hole, okay? My nose is the guy. The top of my head is the surface, okay? I have been down that hole for a long time, and a lot of times I still feel like I am in that hole, okay? Especially considering where I am right now in my life, okay? Maybe you're in that hole. Maybe you've been in that hole. Maybe you found a way to climb out of it. I'm still figuring that out. So if you have a good way that works, please let me know. But the thing about it is with that hole, metaphorically speaking, okay, is that the people who are in this category, they won't go down there with you and hang out with you until you're ready to come out. The people in this category will. They will come down there and they will help you out for as long as you need it. Okay? But you have to understand that people are people and they have their limits too, just like you do. All right? It's a cooperative thing. You have to do some give and take to make this work. You can't do almost everything on your own. There's some things you have no choice but to do on your own. Okay? And I'm going to, now that's been like, 17 minutes of me yammering and rambling like a moron, I'm going to tell you what's worked for me since then. Okay? And like I said, is it a cure-all? No. I still have these thoughts. I still think about it all the time. The only difference is now I don't act on it because I know I'm not alone. If you're listening to this and watching this or whatever the case may be, you are not alone. Okay? We don't know each other personally. We don't even know each other casually, sexually. We don't even know each other in any way, shape, or form. But to a certain extent, you know me and I know you. I know what you're feeling to a point. Maybe I'm projecting, maybe I'm not. I don't know. Maybe you know what I'm feeling. Maybe, I hope you do. Okay? What's helped me get through it is being around the people in this category. Okay? If you ever read Mark Manson, he's got this this essay, which is like an excerpt from one of his books, where basically it's him explaining why it's good not to give a fuck. Okay? And he uses fuck a lot in that essay, which I think is hilarious. I think it's awesome. I mean, I'll, as soon as I can, I should put a link on that website so you can click on it in the comment section and you can check it out for yourself. But it's a really good read, and he doesn't charge anyone to read it. He just has it on his website. Like, if you want to buy the whole book, yeah, buy the whole book. But that one, I think he thought it was so important that people know not to give a fuck about all certain things. See, from his perspective, and I'm giving all the credits to Mark Manson. Okay, this is all his idea. I just think it's really powerful and really influential that I should share it with you. Again, just like the Suicide Hotline, they're not endorsing me on this. Neither is Mark Manson. I'm doing this all on my own. Okay, but Mark Manson basically explains that when we're younger, we have so much fucks that we give them out freely like they're candy. Okay, like we have $1 million and boom, 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 boom. Well, the problem is as we get older, we realize we don't have that much fucks to give anymore. We don't have $1 million. We have maybe $10,000. And as we get even older than that, well, guess what? You know, the bank is running near dry at $1,000. We don't have that many fucks to give as we get older. The reason why is because as we go through life, as we grow older and hopefully wiser, we learn to whom and to what we invest our fucks. Okay? For instance, the people in this category, don't give a fuck about them. All right, you know, have a good time with them, drink a couple beers, whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, whatever they think about you is inconsequential. Matter of fact, it doesn't mean shit. Because if they really cared about you, they wouldn't be in this category. They would be in this category. Okay? So the fucks that you have, whatever you have left, save it for this category. And it's not just for the people in your life. It's for people and things that are important to you, or maybe you thought were important to you. You might want to revisit those things. Okay? what's worked for me. Again, I can only stress what's worked for me. I don't know what's going to work for you, but I'm going to give it a shot anyway. Okay? I used to hate running when I was in high school because there was a dickhead coach who just, every time he talked, he made me hate running in high school. Okay? I mean, I'll tell you one thing. Coaches are supposed to whoop the shit out of you and kick your ass, but they're supposed to do it in a way that motivates you, that challenges you, that respects you. They're going to say, you know what, your limit is here. Bullshit. I know your limit is here, okay? And your limit actually is up here. You can surpass it. Coaches will motivate people to get past their limits without demonizing them, degrading them, or whatever the case may be. Well, the coach that I dealt with was not like that. Okay, he was a prick. So I hated running. And many years later, around 2014, I think I started getting back into running because I met a social running club. Okay, I'm not going to name them, but wherever you live, there's a social running club, and there might be booze tacked on with it. Do the math. But they're a great group of people, okay? But the majority of those people are here. I found very few of those people, however, who are here, and they're awesome. Everyone over there is awesome, but the people over here, really awesome for me, okay? So running actually was a really good thing for me, okay? And today is, September 1st of 2019, okay? I've actually decided to go back to the gym within the past couple weeks, all right? I decided to hold myself to that commitment, even though I can cancel it anytime I want. But, I've been doing the gym for about 2 weeks now, and I've been doing like 7 visits so far, okay? And I don't do anything crazy. I don't set really high expectations for myself. I just want to look good whenever the clothes come off. That's pretty much the reason why I do anything, okay? But the gym is important. Despite the fact that I was a failure as a writer, I still write whenever the mood strikes me. I also decided to go back to school so I could become a nurse. I'll tell you one thing, the job that I work, I love doing it, but I'll tell you the pay sucks ass. All right? If they pay me 3-4 times as much as what they're paying me now, trust me, I wouldn't even think about going back to school. Like, I'm fine right where I'm at. Okay? But I decided to go back to school because I have selfish and altruistic reasons. Yes, as a nurse, I would be able to help people, but that's the altruistic reason. The selfish reason is I want to challenge myself. I wanted to better myself. Okay? And I want to see if I was as smart as I hoped I ever was, and turns out, yeah, I kind of am. If my suicide attempt actually worked, I wouldn't know these things. I would not be able to count and lean on the people in my life who are in this category. Okay, they wouldn't be able to count on me either. Now, I'm not saying that suicide is a selfish decision. I really think when people say, oh, suicide is a selfish decision, blah 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 blah, and they paint it in such a negative light. Well, let me tell you something. I'll be honest with you. Yes, suicide is a selfish decision, but guess what? It's not that person's decision who's trying to convince you not to do it. It's your decision. It's a hard decision. Okay, whether you're, like I said, whether you have a terminal illness and you've exhausted every other option and that's it. Okay, I can understand that. But you may not be in that position. You might be, I'm done with life and all this other stuff. I've been bullied. I've been called names and all this other stuff. I'll tell you one thing, I probably haven't had it as bad as you. I might even have it better than you, or our situations might be worse. You might be like, wow, this dude's fucked up. I've had it better than him. And he survived. Who knows? Again, okay, suicide is a selfish decision, but I don't think it's a bad decision or a negative decision. It's a personal decision. It's a deeply personal decision. Okay? I don't encourage it. The reason why is because if you were to do it, commit suicide, if you're a suicide survivor or you're thinking about it and you go through with it and you actually succeed in it, you will never answer any of the questions or fulfill any of the desires in this life because you took yourself out of the game, okay? You took yourself off the board. And I would encourage you not to do that. Don't do that. Please. Don't take yourself off the board. If I had taken myself off the board, yes, even since then, I've still had my heart broken. I really have. I was dating someone recently and, I tried being there for her, but the fact was I was not good enough for her. And that's nothing against her. The fact is that she and I were two different people. We were incompatible in a lot of ways. I tried to make it work. She tried to make it work, whatever. Am I heartbroken about that? Hell yes. I fucking hate being alone. I really hate being alone. And there's nothing stopping me from taking this car and going it off the bridge or getting a gun and blowing my brains out. There really is nothing to stop me. No one can stop me from doing whatever the hell I want to do. But I'm not doing it. And I'm encouraging you not to do it either. Don't take yourself off the board. It's easy. If anyone has seen, I'm sorry if I'm getting emotional here, so I'm going to try to sort of make my point by distracting myself by talking about something that's sort of connected. So, did you follow that? Okay, good. If anyone saw Suicide Squad, which really wasn't that good of a movie, but I liked one line that the Joker had, Jared Leto's version of the Joker. He asked Harley Quinn in one of the little flashback scenes. He's like, he asks her, "Would you die for me?" No. And before she can answer, he's like, no. That's too easy. That's too easy. Pause. If you're willing to die for something, okay, whatever's going on in your head, I'm hoping that you would also be willing to live for something. And the continuation of that conversation between Jared Leto's Joker and Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn was that he's like, no. Would you live for me? Okay? Dying is easy. Living is fucking hard. I know. Okay? I know that living is hard. You're going to have a lot more failures and a lot more defeats. But you're going to also have your successes. You're going to also have those triumphs. Okay? With me being physically and mentally active, despite what I'm feeling right now, it levels me out. Okay? For instance, with the running in the gym thing, physically what it does is, yeah, I'm gonna, trust me, the selfish reason I want to look good when the clothes come off. All right, I do. That's the only reason why I do anything physical, is because I want to look good when the clothes come off. Why? Because I'm sexy and I fucking know it. Okay, but two, it also gets your endorphins up. All right, and think about it this way: if you're thinking about sex, all right, being physically active as much as possible within your range does help your sex life. Okay, two, you know, I could play video games all day, but what's going to happen is it's going to go in a loop and a loop and a loop and a loop and a loop. I'm going to get depressed. I'm going to get lazy. I'm not going to do anything. No, I'll be active and athletic and exercise and run and do whatever I can, because that's a better investment of my time. It also helps my endorphins. Okay, it also keeps me honest. And because I'm going back to school, I can listen to my lectures while I'm doing it anyway. Okay, but you know, sometimes when I'm listening to the music or working out, whatever, I do think about things and I do put things in perspective. Okay, and my logic is not really good or sound. I'm working on that, but I actually have gotten a little smarter in that department on a personal level. Maybe it's because of the street smarts or something like that. And but I feel myself getting better with it over the course of the period of time, because I've thought about things. Okay, and that's actually another thing too. All right, whatever you're feeling, let's say you're feeling like you're retarded, or that you're stupid, or that you're dumb, and remember the differences between stupid and dumb. Okay, you may have been stupid at one point in your life, and you might have been dumb at another point in life, but that doesn't mean you have to stay there. Okay, there's different kinds of intelligences. You know, my development in terms of my intelligence, my personal, mental, whatever, admittedly has been late. Because I rather experience certain things than actually think about them beforehand. Well, no, I decided to put off my learning until later. Okay, but I found out that I'm a lot smarter than I give myself credit for. I'm encouraging you not to give up and take yourself off the board, because you're taking yourself away from finding out what you're capable of. You are beautiful. You are powerful. You are sexy. Okay? You're sexy, and guess what? I know it. You are. And sexiness is not just a physical prowess or whatever. Okay, sexiness is in the mind and how you personally feel. Like, for instance, if you're constantly feeling down and down and down and down and all this other stuff, you do sort of project it. It's like a drop of water going into an ocean that's very calm and very, very clear. A drop of the water just sends ripples out. People can see that. But if you're active, on a physical and mental capacity, and you're just doing things for yourself, okay, people realize and people gravitate toward it. Matter of fact, sometimes the people who are in this category eventually find themselves working towards becoming this category, just because you found a way to put out positive energy, because you're active physically, mentally, whatever the case may be. All right, and that's one of the things that's really helped me, is running, going back to the gym, and going back to school. Those are 3 things so far. Another thing that I would recommend and encourage you to do is volunteer. If you had your heart broken by some bitch or some asshole, whoever the fuck it was that broke your heart, and I don't care if you're gay, straight, bisexual, or whatever the case may be, right? You're going to have your heart broken. That's going to continue to happen. Trust me, it happened to me recently. Again, it's September 1st, 2019, on a Sunday. All right, I've had my heart broken recently, and that was a decision that I made. I don't like that I made it. I don't like the situation, but I made it anyway because it was either that or continue to be miserable and make her miserable or whatever the case may be. But if you've had your heart broken, do what you can to process it. Take your time, but don't let it beat you. Okay? Living is harder than living is infinitely harder than dying, but live. Okay? Volunteer. If you like to play chess, if you like to run, if you like to, do wine tasting, if you like to be with autistic kids or whatever the case may be, for a while I was with my running friends. Not only did we run, we raised money for a lot of causes. We did things for Children's Tumor Foundation, I think, which was the Cupid underwear run. I love that. If you have a chance, do the Cupid underwear runs in your city. Usually they have them around February in cities all over the country. Really great organization. You're paying some money to participate in the event, and a good majority of the proceeds go to this good cause for Children's Tumor Foundation. It's still an awesome thing. If you can volunteer for something where you can have a good time and still serve a worthy cause, by all means do it. We've raised money for Wounded Warriors, for a couple other causes. I just can't remember them all right now, but it's awesome to volunteer. It really is, because again, it gets your endorphins up. It takes your mind off what you're feeling. It takes your mind and your body off the pain that you're feeling. And I will admit this, I do feel some physical pain every now and then. I really do. It's just because of my age maybe, and all the stupid shit that I've done before now. But volunteer, okay? Get yourself out there. Yes, you may be hurt. Yes, you are in pain physically and mentally or whatever the case may be. And living is hard. But again, I don't encourage you to commit suicide or even think about it. I encourage you to be active. Get active in your community, okay? I am no longer religious. I used to be, and I decided I'm going to be an atheist because for those are personal decisions. That's my personal decision based on experiences in my life and the people that I was around. Okay, so whatever works for you. If you're religious, I respect that. I really do. Volunteer with your church. If you love to sing, I used to have a decent singing voice. It's horrible now, but I still sing. I sing in my car. Okay, all the time. People will see me jamming out and they'll laugh at me and all this other stuff. Okay, and speaking of people who are complete and total strangers who make comments, all right, I have been called a faggot. All right, I have been picked on for stupid reasons. All right, I've had people make stupid comments about how I look or what I look or whatever the case may be. And you know what? I'm at a point in my life and my age. Again, Mark Manson here. I don't give a fuck about all that. I could dwell on that all the time. But you know what? I have much more important things to do. Me talking to you right now is one of the most important things that I think I will do in quite some time. Right? The next important thing I would say is like becoming a registered nurse. Okay. And probably, I would, if I was going to, tie being a nurse with my life experiences, I would like to, do my career where I can be around people who've been in my position, who may be in your position, people who are suicidal or have been thinking about it. I think I can help them out. Okay. It's also something else that you find out that if you take yourself off the board, you don't know or you may never find out what you truly love. You may think that being a football player or being in business is the love of your life, and when as soon as you try, like, well, damn it, dude, I suck. Fuck it. It might be that you're a singer or you're a dancer, okay, or it might be that you're an artist, okay. Or on the flip side of things, if you thought you were creative and turns out you failed at it, you actually might have a logical mind, like, you know what, I can do math, I can do computers, I can come up with an app that really changes things for people. Okay, if you take yourself off the board and out of the game, okay, the problem is that you will never find out what truly turns you on in terms of a career or like a hobby or something that really turns you on. Because, when I was dealing with my now ex, I wouldn't say that she was discouraging me from it. She just didn't I guess, understand where I was coming from, why I wanted to be a nurse. Okay? But you know what? I've always had my foot in the medical field. All right? And to realize, I like learning about this kind of stuff. Okay? But I also have selfish reasons for becoming a nurse. I see nurses who are having a good fucking life, living independently. I want that for myself too. Okay? So everything that I've said, yeah, I talked about myself a lot, but that's what I'm saying. If you've been listening and watching up to this point, it's like I've been talking for now a little over 35 minutes. Okay? I tried to take myself out. May 20th, 2016. I am a suicide survivor. I tried to kill myself. Okay? I failed at it. I would say that's the only failure in my life that I can look back on like, yeah, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. I'm glad it didn't work. The reason why is because, you know, I wouldn't have these people in my life, and I love hanging out with them. I really do. Okay? I wouldn't learn what I'm capable of in terms of me going back to school. All right? Or what I'm physically capable of with me going to the gym. Okay? Or what I'm capable of writing, no matter how angry or how happy it might be, or anything in between of that spectrum. Okay? I would not know that. All right? You know, my body would be in the ground, or I'll be cremated or something like that, but I would not be here in this life right now. Okay? Now, if you're thinking about the state of the things, like for instance, President Trump, that guy's a fucking wacko. He's not my president. I didn't vote for him. He's a moron. Actually, he's stupid, which means because he knows what he's doing, he just doesn't give a shit. Okay? I'm not trying to make this political, but if you're thinking about that and that depresses you, okay, fine, I acknowledge that. It does bother me sometimes too. When that election happened, I was like, oh my God, I can't do this. Okay? But if I let that beat me, all right, then I wouldn't be doing the things that I'm doing now. I wouldn't be talking to you. You wouldn't be listening. Don't let that kind of thing beat you. If you're looking at the news and it's fucking horrible that our country has shitloads of gun problems with a lot of people dying, okay, all right, yes, acknowledge that. Then if that bothers you, here's something you can do. Get involved in politics. Volunteer. All right? Get people to vote. All right? Do whatever it is in your community, okay? But be respectful of people who have different views than you, okay? I encourage this. You know, get involved. You know, you're in a dark place. You're in the bottom of this fucking pit. I am there. Many a time. Even now, I'm still there. Okay? Like I said, I hate being alone. All right? I'm in a fucking town that I hate because I'm alone. I acknowledge the fact, however, of the choices that I made that put me here. But that doesn't mean I let those choices or anything in the past define my moment now or what I want my future to be. If I did that, again, there's nothing stopping me from getting a gun and blowing my own brains out. All right? Find and discover what life has. Again, whether you're an atheist or you're religious or somewhere in between, spiritual, you know, you have a life. It is tough to live it. But the main challenge of life is like the emotion fear. The reason why fear exists is twofold. Okay? So it alerts us to danger. Okay? So we can avoid the dangers. But we shouldn't live in fear. We shouldn't let fear dictate all of our actions. I mean, I think there's a lot of things that on a macro view that a lot of bad decisions and stupid decisions are made. They're based off of fear. You know, someone in power is fearful of something, so they're going to spread out the word that this is a bad thing when it turns out it's not. Okay? It's fear talking. But fear is a good thing to a certain point that alerts you to danger. Okay? It keeps you on your toes. But it also exists to be overcome. All right? If you're big into comic books like I am, and I'll tell you one thing, man, Marvel did a great job with the movies, and DC, okay, they just screwed everything up. But Green Lantern, I love Green Lantern, especially what Jeff Johns did. But fear, the Green Lantern exists not because they can beat fear into submission and completely wipe it off. That's never going to happen. Green Lanterns exist and are Green Lanterns because they have the ability to accept and overcome, and in a lot of cases overpower fear. Whether it's personal fear somewhere all around you, it doesn't matter. Doesn't mean that they don't feel fear. They feel fear. They just don't let it dictate their actions. It doesn't stop them from being heroes. Okay? The fact that you are a suicide survivor or thinking about suicide, don't let it win. Okay? I don't know why you're suicidal. I don't know why you tried it and failed at it. I really don't. But I told you why I did it. And I told you what I've done since then. But you have to make decisions that are best for yourself. Okay? And those are going to be hard decisions sometimes. And it sucks to make those decisions sometimes by yourself. But if you can include people and be around people who love and respect you and will not judge you, right? Then be around them. At the same time, understand that, they need their personal space too. But they're there for you. They always will be. Okay? As for the people who are in this category, don't give a fuck about them. And that sounds harsh. And it's a hard decision to make too, because on a subconscious level, these people will always be there for you no matter what. So you sort of take it for granted. I do the same thing too sometimes. And the people's attention that you really want is in this category. But the fact is that is maybe contributing to something in your life that's setting you up to fail. Okay? I would encourage you not to give a fuck about them. If you see them, you be nice, you be civil and all professional, whatever the case may be. Again, have a couple drinks, whatever the case may be, and all this other stuff. But at the same time, don't give a fuck about what they think. All right? They're not worth your fucks. They're not worth your time beyond what you spend with them. Don't go out of your way to impress someone who doesn't see you that way. Okay? If there's someone you want to impress, I know exactly the person who you should be impressing. All right? I mean, this is a really easy one. If I have to tell you, I'm going to tell you. Okay? Look in the mirror. Serious, look in the mirror. I mean, when I don't shave, okay, my shit is all scruffy and all over the place. I'm going bald up here. Most people go bald in the back over here, but I'm going bald over here. Okay? But I have gray hairs all over the place. I'm fucking 40 years old. But when I shave, everything comes off. All right? I look like maybe 39 and a half. Okay? I look a little younger. But you know what? I impress myself every single day that I'm alive because I see the person in the mirror. I acknowledge that person in the mirror who's staring back at me. All right? Who made a lot of bad decisions in his life, but learned to become smart enough to recognize that those decisions don't dictate what I do now or what I plan to do in the future. I really could wallow in everything that I've done wrong, the people that I've hurt, or the mistakes that I made, or the times that I attacked people or treated them like shit. I really could do that, and it would depress me, and it would not be a good thing. Or I can acknowledge what I did, make amends whenever possible, all right, but move on with my life. The people who hurt me, I don't give a fuck about them. The people in this category, sorry, I don't give a fuck about you either. All right, I really don't. The reason why is because if the people in this category really cared, they would be in this category. And there would be that understanding that they're in this category for me and I'm in this category with them, for them. Okay? So as harsh as it sounds, be selfish. Be selfish for you. Because I'm telling you one thing, when you're selfish for you and you do things that make you happy without giving a rat's ass what anyone thinks, regardless of the category that they're in, okay, people will pick up on it. And people will be there to support you. And you'll find out the people who really will be in your corner. And you'll find out the people who will go down in that hole with you and stay in that hole with you until you're ready to come back out. And I'm going to tell you one thing, it is a cycle. You're going to have your ups and downs. What works for me is not the magic bullet. No pun intended, but there is no magic bullet. Okay? A gun is not the answer. All right? If you think making you happy is to get a gun and start shooting shit up, all right, don't. That's not what I'm talking about. Make yourself happy in a positive way. Okay? If you think making yourself happy is drinking yourself into a fucking stupor, no. All you're doing is masking the pain and avoiding what's bothering you. And the problem is that it builds and builds and builds and builds and builds until you finally decide to say, fuck it, I'm just going to hang myself. No. Drinking is good. Drinking is fun in, controlled levels and around people who will watch your back. One day you're going to be the DD. The next time someone's going to be the DD, and it's going to be fine. But at the same time, don't take it to such an extent that, you're going to hurt yourself or someone else. All right? A gun is not the answer. Alcohol is not the answer. I used to smoke. I had a girlfriend for 7.5 years, and she was a smoker, and I wasn't a smoker. But then, I was hanging out with her. So I decided to smoke too. I'm like, yeah, sure, I like it. For me, I love smoking. I really do. I miss it. I like the feeling of inhaling something and feeling the burn in my lungs and then just getting rid of it. And yeah, you know, sometimes it kept, you know, my appetites under control. But I actually had to quit smoking. Okay? I quit. I used to smoke 4 to maybe 6 cigarettes on a daily basis. So if I bought a pack, it would be like, you know, every 3-4 days I'll buy a pack because that would last me. I mean, there are people who smoke 5-6 packs a day, you know, because that's the decision that they make. Okay, I'm not encouraging you to make that decision. I'm encouraging you to quit smoking if you're smoking. I do it, and I'll tell you why. Okay, because again, smoking is one of those behaviors that keeps you feeling down about yourself. Drinking is one of those behaviors that keeps you feeling down about yourself. All right, getting a gun or doing crazy amounts of drugs just reinforces those feelings of getting down about yourself. If you're a responsible gun owner, okay, and you shoot guns because you like to hunt or you like to keep your aim on point, or you're a first responder who needs to have a gun, you know, awesome, great, that's perfect. Okay, I respect that. You know, I'm all about the Second Amendment. Okay, but if you don't need a gun for whatever reason, you don't need a gun. You don't need it. All right. Matter of fact, I'd rather hang out with people who know what the hell they're doing with guns, and I know about a couple of people who do have guns, and they're responsible people. There's no fucking way I'm going to give myself a gun knowing what I know and what I'm capable of. I'm not going to do it. It's not because I don't trust myself. It's a decision that I make for myself. I personally don't need it. I don't have a need for it. Now, if I'm out in the woods, all right, and I want to learn how to shoot a gun, you best understand that I'm going to talk to a couple of my friends, you know, hey, show me how to shoot a gun, all right? And they'll get my back and they'll show me how to shoot it. But until then, no, I don't need it. All right. I usually don't do things until I need to do them, and then I learn about it. Go figure. And I'm sorry, I went off on a tangent again. Been rambling. But what I'm saying is, participate and do things that are going to get your endorphin levels up. They're going to make you feel good about yourself, despite the pain that you're feeling, despite your broken heart. All right. Because eventually, what happens is that just as memories fade, so too do the bad things in your life. What happens is that you get to a point eventually where you look back and you'll down yourself for a moment, but you know what? You'll be like, you know, I've really grown since then. I've gotten slimmer, stronger, sexier, whatever the case may be. I've gotten smarter. I've gotten wiser. You know, and it's reverberating around. I'm finding myself having commitments all over the place now because I've been volunteering. I've been working. I've been doing all this. I have a really good life. You know, despite the shit that me right now I'm in, I actually have a pretty decent life. I have no cause for complaint. A lot. But I don't want to be specifically physically where I am right now, which is why one of the reasons why I want to become a nurse, because I want to be in a physically better place. This place is fucking dead. Okay, it's dead. But my biggest encouragement for you, okay, is don't take yourself off the board. Don't quit. Okay, I mean, again, it's a highly, deeply personal decision, and people who have never been in your shoes, who've never been in that fucking hole before, you know, they're gonna say, you know, you shouldn't do it because of, you know, the family. Think of the family. Think of your friends. I'm sorry, but no. You know what? It is a selfish decision, but it's not selfish in the context in which they frame it. All right, that's your decision. What people should basically be saying is like, you know what? Wow, that's a pretty heavy decision. I actually respect you for making that decision, but can I give you my counter argument as to why you shouldn't? You know, a friend in that category is going to say, you know, please don't do it. You know, they're gonna talk to you from a perspective because they don't know any other perspective. So don't hold that against them. But they're gonna talk to you from a perspective that's gonna be selfish for them, and they're gonna be like, dude, if you take yourself out of off the board, I mean, who am I gonna talk to? Who am I gonna hang out with? You know, I'll have a hole in my heart. And I know I've known 2 people in my life. There's a third. I don't know if she actually did it or not, but she's gone, unfortunately. But I never knew the circumstances of why she left, so I really can't say. But I know 2 people definitely. One was a friend of mine, well, a friend of a friend. But when he took himself out of the game, man, it was devastating for his daughters, his fiance at the time, you know, and he felt bad. He was in constant pain, and he felt bad about, and he didn't see another way out. Because maybe he didn't think about other ideas or think about asking for help or whatever the case may be. You know, he took himself off the board. It was pretty painful for a while for a lot of people. Not, I mean, me personally, I mean, he was a really good guy. I was bummed about it, but I mean, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that it was such a life-changing thing for me. No, actually, it wasn't. I mean, I still think about it. I still hope that he's okay. But, you know, for the people in his life and like in his immediate circle, my heart goes out to them and to him, you know, to everyone involved in that. It's just, it was hard. You know, people were bawling their eyes out. He was such a good guy. And then no one saw it coming. No one saw it coming from me. No one's going to see it coming from you. I had a family member who took himself out too. You know, his mother is just devastated. She, you know, every time I see her, she's not the same person that she was. Okay. You know, it's just when something like that happens to people who are close to people, and something, you know, someone that they love takes himself off the board, you know, it does change them. You know, it's heartbreaking to see. Again, again, this is gonna sound like an asshole thing to say, but you know what? You're making a decision, and it's not going to include them. It is a selfish decision, but it's not a bad decision. Okay, it's your decision. It's not a good decision. It's your decision. But I'm encouraging you not to make it, not to go through with it. If you survived a suicide, stay in that status. Stay survived. Don't do it again. I don't encourage you to do it. Do not do it. If you're thinking about suicide, please don't do it. I'm not encouraging you that you do it. I'm telling you not to do it. I'm encouraging you not to do it. Suicide, people thinking about suicide, people who have survived a suicide, I'm encouraging you not to do it or do it again. Just don't. Because just as suicide is a selfish decision, so is living your life on your terms a selfish decision. Okay? And that's a hell of a lot more fulfilling than taking yourself out of the game. If you take yourself out of the game, you take yourself out of the board, all right, you're never going to answer the questions that you want answered. You're never going to see places that you've always wanted to see. You're never going to know if you're better than you think you are. I'm here to tell you that you are better than you think you are. You're beautiful. You're powerful. You're sexy. Okay? I'm encouraging you not to do it. Because when I survived and I was in the hospital, I was out of my mind. I had no clue what the hell was going on. I was being interrogated by the goddamn paramedic. All I know is he was a tall, fat, blonde dude wearing glasses. He kept asking me the same questions. Who's the president? What year is this? Who are you? What's your name? What's your date of birth? And he yelled the questions at me. Okay? And he repeated himself 5-6 times over. Okay? And then turns out two of my friends were there because my family wasn't. All right? And the look on their faces was like pure horror. Like, we've always known this guy. Okay, he's been off the wall. He's, you know, he takes things a little bit too far when he drinks too much, but he's cool. He's never done anything like this. We have never seen this side of it. They were fucking horrified. You know what else happened to me after the fact? All right, a lot of the people that I thought were in this category were actually in this category, and all the shit that they talked about me behind my back. Okay, that was really fucking painful too. I was a drug addict. I was a drunk, or whatever the case would be. First of all, they were never there. Okay, in my most intimate moments, and they're making that judgment on me. Who the fuck do they think they are? I don't give a fuck about them anymore. They may be on my Facebook. They may think they're in some category, or they may not care what category they are in. All right. The only reason why I keep them around is because if there's an event that's going on and I want to hang out with a couple friends who might be there, but those people are going to be there too, fuck it. I'm not going to care if they're there or not. I'm going to go there for them because those people love me and respect and don't judge me. Okay. So yeah, the aftermath of me trying to take my own life was a fucking clusterfuck. And trust me, it was a tail between my legs because I thought I had everything figured out at that point in time. I thought I had everything figured out 10 years before that. All right, I didn't have a damn clue. But ever since I survived it, okay, you know, I've learned things about myself, about what I like to do. Okay, and if I was off the board and out of the game, I wouldn't be able to know that. I wouldn't know if that I'm smarter than I think I am. I wouldn't know that I could get 3 A's out of, you know, being out of school for 20 fucking years, nearly 20 fucking years. I got all A's my first semester back. I mean, for me, that's an accomplishment in and of itself. when I become a nurse, not if, when I become a nurse, I'm going to be a damn good nurse. And don't get me wrong, I like my coworkers, but some of the nurses that I work with are fucking dumb. Okay? And some of them are fucking stupid. Because, I'm like, you're a nurse and you're asking me these retarded questions, and what the fuck is wrong with you? You should know this better than I do. And you don't. So I'm the one who, on a rare occasion, which is one too much for me, having to correct them on things that they should know better about. But then again, nurses, I'm not downing them. Nurses are getting it from everyone. They're getting it from the doctors. They're getting it from their bosses. They're getting it from the family. They're getting it from the patients. They're getting it from the social workers. They're getting it from corporate. And corporate has no fucking clue what the hell's going on because they make stupid decisions all the time. Okay? But nurses get it from everywhere. So sometimes they just don't think about the trivial things. But here's the thing. At the end of the day, the trivial things don't matter, which it falls to me in terms of my job, not because I'm the hero or whatever. It just, at that particular time, it fell to me to fix this situation. Okay, big deal. I could literally harp on that for the rest of my life. Or I could say, whatever. Nurses have it a lot worse than I do. I want to be a nurse because I can do a better job than them. And that's a fact. Okay? Everything that I have said has been fact. From my perspective. From my experiences. Okay? If you know someone, if you are someone who is thinking about suicide, is a suicide survivor, if you are, or you know someone who's like that, again, it's a cycle. You're going to be in that hole. But you have people in your corner, and you have the strength and the power to get yourself out of that hole. But if you need to, don't hesitate. Call 1-800-273-4255. And if I'm wrong about the number, I apologize, but Google it. Suicide Hotline. Boom, it's right there. Again, nonprofit, completely confidential. You can talk to them on the phone. You can chat with them online. No judgment there, okay? And no, they're not paying me. I don't want any money for this. It's just me doing it. I encourage you to use that number. Don't fucking hesitate. If you even think about a thought, dial the number. Okay? And if you can, definitely do some homework. Read up Mark Manson's little essay online. Look for it. You'll find it about not giving a fuck. Save your fucks. If you have $1 million fucks at this point in your life, awesome. Don't waste them. Save them for the people and things and activities that are like this. All right? Volunteer. Get active. Physically. Mentally. Go back to school if you can. And here's another thing also. You might be in a situation or a place where you literally have no money. Or you have no options. You do have options. You just didn't, you may not have seen them or thought about them, but you do have options. Okay? There's financial aid. Okay? There's people who will get you, who will help you where you need to go. All you got to do is ask. Reach out. Okay? And stop worrying. I encourage you to stop worrying about what people will think or what you're going to look like. If it looks like you're weak, who gives a fuck? All right? If you're asking for help, that's a big fucking step. Okay? Again, dying is easy, living is hard. But don't take yourself off the board. Don't take yourself out of the game. Stay in it. Live this life. Okay? This is your life. And whatever you believe or don't believe, it's yours. Only you can make the decisions. I'm encouraging you that you make the decision to live. Okay? Because it's your life. Be selfish about it. All right? Just don't harm anyone else in your decisions. Okay? But do things that make you happy. All right? Whatever they are. If something made you happy before and it doesn't make you happy anymore, revisit it. You never know. It might make you happy again, or you might discover something new that makes you happy. All right? Hell, if you like porn and you think you'll be a good porn star, be a good porn star. Okay? If that makes you happy, go for it. Just be safe. If you want to be a race car driver, be a race car driver. If you want to be a nurse, be a nurse. Okay? If you have a story to tell, then tell it. You don't need any big corporate, big publishers to help you tell your story. There's this thing called Amazon. Amazon, you can publish your book for free online and have physical copies. And you can do things where people can buy your book and they can sample the book or whatever the case may be. But you can make some money on the side of it. If you have a story to tell, write your story. If you have a song to sing, sing it. If you have a move to dance, fucking dance. Do it. Don't let fear stop you from doing what you want to do. Don't let your whatever failures and mistakes that you've made in the past stop you from doing what you want to do. Okay? You earned this. This is your life. And I encourage you to live it. Please, please, please don't do suicide. It's not a bad decision. It's not a good decision. It's your decision. And it is a selfish decision, but it's your decision. Even if after all this, damn near an hour of me rambling and all this other crap, if you made it to this point and you said, you know what, I'm still taking myself out of the game, I'm done. Again, whether you're terminally ill or not, whatever the case, I respect your decision. I'm encouraging you that you don't, but I respect your decision. I don't judge you for it. Okay? You know, I guess this is going to be on YouTube, so if you want to leave a comment, you can leave a comment. If you want to call me an asshole, call me an asshole. That's perfectly fine. Okay? I'm honestly not going to give a fuck about the people who are going to sling insults at me. I'm just going to delete the comments and whatever. But if you want to reach out, reach out. You know, we'll find a way to talk. Okay? I mean, I have commitments. I have a full stacked life right now. But if I can help out, I'll do it. Okay? But if I prove to be unreliable, you have people in your corner too. Talk to them. Talk to them. Pick up the phone. Suicide Hotline. 1-800-273-4255. Again, if I get the number wrong, Google them. Give them a call. Read up on Mark Manson. But find ways to make yourself happy again. Okay? I think, I know and I feel for a fact that you out there, okay, feel as I do, and that you have a lot to offer. Fuck the world. You have a lot to offer yourself. And I hope one day, you know, the person that loves and respects you fucking gets down on one knee and proposes to you. And ladies, by the way, if you want to propose to your man, there's nothing stopping you. This is 2019, okay? It's perfectly acceptable to make more money than a man, all right? And it's perfectly acceptable to be to propose to a man, okay? It's perfectly fine. Just, you know, give him the option to give him the satisfaction of letting him put the ring on your finger. You never know. Sorry, but again, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, if you live your life, you will work for things, and the things that you want and the people that you want will be in your life. I do know that. I mean, again, my heart's broken over my recent breakup, but you know, it's just the way it is. You know, maybe she wasn't for me and I wasn't for her, either now or forever. Okay, but I'm not going to let that stop me. I'm hoping whatever failures and mistakes that you've had in your life, you realize that you're much more powerful than all that, and you don't let it stop you. So please, 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 please do not do suicide. If you didn't, don't do it again, please. If you're thinking about it, stay away from it. Reach out to people who love and respect you. Reach out to them. Pick up the phone. Okay? All right. Spent about an hour and 3 minutes, and I went a little longer than I anticipated it would. I'm sorry. No, you know what? I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry for anything that I've said. Not sorry. I don't give a fuck about that. I give a fuck about you. So this is one of my fucks and my hearts to you, to all of you. All right? I'm not sorry for opening my heart out and being emotional, and I'm not sorry for telling you that life is worth living. I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry for crying. I'm not sorry for anything that I've done in my past life. I'm in the past. I mean, you know, at the time I was, but I'm not sorry to the point where I want to hurt myself anymore. The only way I hurt myself now is when I go to the gym or when I run a little bit too extraneously. But I'm not sorry for encouraging you and respecting you enough and your decision, but still encouraging you to live life. I am not going to apologize for that. And you know what? You don't owe an apology to anybody. Not for thinking about suicide, not for trying it and failing at it. You don't owe an apology to anyone. All right? Because you are powerful, You're fucking intelligent and you're sexy as heaven and hell. And you're beautiful. And you always are and you always have been. And you always will be. So live for yourself. Learn and discover for yourself. Everything else will come into everything else will fall into place. I don't have faith in God because God doesn't exist, but I do have faith in that. I have faith that the decisions that I make now that are better for my health. You know, I quit smoking. I keep my shit in control. Those decisions that I'm making now for the long game, the long term, I know are going to pay off. But I won't know if I take myself out of the game. I won't know how good of a nurse I am if I decide to say fuck it. You know, my girlfriend and I just broke up. I'm just going to end it all. Or I missed a party this past weekend and it really bummed me out. I'm just going to end it all. Or I suck at my writing. I'm just going to end it all. No. If I take myself out now, I won't know how good I am and can be. How much better I can be. I'm encouraging you to live life. But I still and will always respect your decision one way or another. But please don't do it. And I'm telling you not to do it. I'm encouraging you not to do it. Not because, keep in mind that I never said anything about, think about your friends and family. They don't matter at this point. The ones that matter, you know. If your decision includes them in terms of not doing it, that's perfectly fine. That's awesome. You know what? I'm not going to commit suicide because I want to live for these people over here. Well, guess what? That's great. But live for yourself too. Okay? The people here, fuck them. They're not worth your time. They're not worth your dick. They're not worth your pussy. They're not worth your love. They're not worth anything about you other than, hey, how's it going? That's it. But everyone here, definitely. If you want to live for them, go for it. But don't forget yourself. Matter of fact, they can be insulted all they want. Put yourself above everyone else. Live for yourself. Discover what turns you on. Discover what empowers you. Whether it be politics, exercise, running, volunteering, whatever. Put it all together. Okay? You are powerful. You are beautiful. You are sexy. You're fucking intelligent. And you're amazing. You are and you always have been. And just because, you know, you, me, made mistakes and had some failures in our life doesn't mean those things define our present and what could be a wonderful future. But if you take yourself off the board, you won't know. Okay? So, okay. I guess I'm going to end this right now. I've said what I wanted to say. I think I said everything I wanted to say. I summarized it again, and then I rambled on. So I will say one thing, because I think I can do this for like another 2 minutes and then cut it. Keep it like a good hour and 10 minutes. Everything that I've said was, again, I'm not under the influence of any substances whatsoever. No alcohol, no drugs, illicit or otherwise. I've quit smoking. I like smoking. I just miss it, but I'm not doing it anymore because it's not healthy. You know, again, reinforces those things. But okay. What I'm trying to say is that take everything that I've said, think about it, and for the spiritually and religiously inclined, pray about it too if you want. But think about it, pray about it, whatever. If at the end of everything you find some stuff that's useful, hang on to the stuff that's useful. Everything else that doesn't make sense to you, that's fine. Just put it to the side. Okay? Put it to the side. And if after everything that I've said, you still decide to make that decision to go through with it, I do respect it. I really do. I'm just encouraging you not to do it. I'm wholeheartedly, with every fiber of my being, encouraging you not to commit suicide, to try it at all, or again. Please don't do it. Everything that I've said, there's no hidden message or psychological. No, that was never my intent. Please don't do it. But if you decide to make that decision, it's your deeply personal decision. It's your decision and no one else's. Okay, I respect you for it. So, thanks. If you, again, coming up on an hour and 10 minutes here, leave some comments if you want. If they're negative comments, I'm just going to delete them. If you want to reach out, go for it. I'll do what I can. But please live. Please give living a shot. Give it a second chance. You know, maybe it's like a lover who wants to come back to your life, and you forgive him. Forgive life. Forgive yourself. Forgive life and give life a chance. Another chance. Don't quit. Don't take yourself off the board. Just live. And give it a shot. So, all right. Again, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. If you made it to this point, I really appreciate your patience. And, you know, thank you.